Это неспроста.
For years I dreamed of being an idol, and now my dream has come true. Sure, the pay is bad, and I don't have much time to rest with our busy practice schedule, but it's all for the fans.
The manager thinks he's doing the new girl a favor by having her replace me as a center. They both have another thing coming.
We've spent so long practicing for this concert, but the venue seems kind of sketchy. That lighting rig looks like it could collapse at any time.
Ever since we hit the top of the charts, we've been getting way more exposure. We even got invited to appear in a talent show with other idol groups. Huh? One of the judges is the leader of a rival group? Well, that doesn't seem fair.
Recently, I've been spending a lot of time with our manager, and he's always there to vouch for me. I think we're even starting to become close. Is it okay for us to start going out like this?
Ever since I put that kid in charge of managing an idol group, it's been one negative headline after another. But the group seems to be turning a profit, despite constant bad press. Did I make the right decision in backing someone that inexperienced?
I always dreamed of being part of the greatest idol group in Japan!
Eh?
いい感じ。
やあ、いよいよ明日が本番だ。
もう遅いですわよ。はいはい、それがいいんじゃない。プロデューサーさん。
Hi, I'm Justin Kuiper, lead writer on Idol Manager. Idol Manager is a game with a strong narrative focus. However, rather than focusing on having a main overarching story, most of the game is told through events and sub-stories that will pop up as you play the game. There will be several narrative points that will be common to all playthroughs. Examples of these are the establishment of your agency, the introduction of a rival group, and some of the endings that you'll encounter. However, most of the narrative content is based on the events that will happen with the individual idols and staff members that you encounter during your playthrough. As you monitor the view of the agency building, there will be times when you notice that something is amiss. If you're able to notice it in time, it can trigger a narrative thread. Completing these smaller narrative threads can sometimes lead to rewards, like recruiting an idol or staffer with high stats. Conversely, neglecting these things as they happen can sometimes lead to narrative consequences with negative effects. One of the key aspects of Idol Manager is literally building the agency. For example, you'll probably want to have a dance studio for idols to have dance practice, and recording booths for music production. A gym will provide idols with a place to train and improve their stats, and a doctor's office will help keep everybody's health in order and reduce problems caused by someone in the group failing due to sickness. Other buildings like the cafe and theater can be built as a source of passive income. There is a cost to acquire new space, and you'll have to pay upkeep for any space you move into, so you need to choose your buildings strategically, and be careful not to expand beyond what your budget can keep up with. Staffers come in several varieties, and each is associated with a different type of room. For example, you can assign a dance instructor to the dance studio, or a physician to the doctor's office. Each of these staffers requires a weekly salary, and better staffers tend to command a higher price. Assigning staffers to practice rooms, like the dance studio, will speed up the training of your idols, and it will also open up production tasks, like doing choreography for a new signal. Each staffer tends to have a specific specialty within their discipline. For example, a dance instructor could specialize in either training or production. As your agency grows, it may be worthwhile to hire multiple staffers within each discipline to get access to these different specialties. Idol recruitment takes place through auditions. You're presented with a collection of idols with semi-random attributes, and more expensive, higher-tier auditions will give you better recruits. Additionally, idols who age out of the program and graduate with a favorable view of the organization may recruit a successor with similar attributes, or they might join you as a staffer. Idols have stats which can be trained and increased, and they also have traits which are innate abilities which do not change. For example, an idol with the maternal trait will get minor performing bonuses when assigned to work with idols who are younger than her, while an idol with the lone wolf trait will get a performance boost when performing solo activities. Some traits are negative, like the annoying trait, which causes her to drain the energy of girls that she does activities with, or the hypochondriac trait, which causes her stamina to drastically decrease when doing a handshake event. Some traits are a mix, like the clumsy trait, which will make her better at comedy, but worse at dancing. Each idol has 2 stamina bars, mental stamina and physical stamina. Physical stamina is spent when performing most tasks, and it replenishes automatically over time. If an idol hits 0 physical stamina, she can still perform, but it will start to drain her mental stamina instead. Mental stamina does replenish over time, but it regenerates much more slowly than physical stamina. Additionally, there are risks associated with having low stamina. Low physical stamina can increase the risk of trauma and physical injury, while idols whose mental stamina falls too low are more susceptible to depression. Strife in relationships and the possibility of scandal also increase when an idol's mental stamina falls too low, so you should do your best to avoid overworking your talent. One of the business tasks you can engage in is producing singles or TV and internet shows. Web shows tend to start off small, but they can allow you to steadily grow an audience over time if you keep at it. TV shows have an easier time finding audiences when first starting out, but people can quickly lose interest in them, and you'll need to invest resources to keep things fresh so that people keep tuning in. Shows cost money to produce, and there's no guarantee of profit, but it can sometimes be worthwhile to run a show at a loss in exchange for the increased exposure and fame that it brings. Increased exposure and fame will hopefully gain you new fans, which hopefully you can monetize. When producing a new single, you choose the marketing strategy, the musical genre, the lyrical focus, and the choreography for the promotion that accompanies the single. Where you place each idol in the formation determines how much their stats contribute to the production. The stats of an individual idol will contribute more to the production if that idol is closer to the center and front rows of the formation. Once you've set the plan into motion, your staff members will begin recording the song and developing the marketing. Depending on the success of the single, your group can gain both money and fame. Fame is tracked for individual idols who participated in the activity, and for the group as a whole. You can also get a detailed breakdown of how specific demographics reacted. With each day that passes in Idol Manager, your group will either gain or lose followers in each fan demographic. This is based on how high your group's fame and buzz is, as well as how that particular demographic feels about your group. You can read an in-game social media feed that shows fan reactions in order to keep your finger on the pulse of what the fans want. Special events like concerts, elections, and world tours can be a significant way to drive hype around your group. Large events like these have a significant cooldown, so they tend to be high cost, high risk, and high reward events. Running a concert consists of a lot of preparation work. You'll need to set up a set list, a venue, and determine the ticket price, as well as select the staff members who will work on the production. During the event, you'll see a live feed of what's going on, and you'll have the ability to use action cards to deal with crises that pop up during the event. Other events, like the election and world tour, involve both a planning phase for you to lay out a strategy for how you want to execute them, and there's also a micromanagement phase where you have to react to unexpected problems and exercise your crisis management skills. You can assign a staffer to perform outreach and generate business proposals for your group. This could include things like having an idol appear in a commercial advertisement or have an exclusive photo shoot. The quality of the proposals that you're offered will depend on your group's popularity and the skill of the staffer that you assign to it. When running the agency, you'll have to set policies for things like event security, whether idols can run public social media accounts, what background check policy will be, and so on. For example, a lax social media policy that allows idols to interact with fans on social media will have fans more pleased, but it can also lead to problems like online bullying and harassment, and increase the risk of scandal. Public scandals are a big part of the game. Scandals cause outrage among fans, and more outrage gives you more scandal points. Depending on the kind of image that you're trying to cultivate, scandal can either hurt or help you. For example, if you're running an orthodox agency, then having a lot of scandal points is bad, and it will result in fewer business proposals coming in, fewer people buying your singles, and so on. However, if you have an agency with a rebellious image, you may actually benefit from having high numbers of scandal points. You can decrease the number of scandal points that you have by firing staffers and idols. In fact, this is the only way to get rid of scandal points. So, if you're trying to get rid of a problematic employee, you might find a way to court controversy to generate a scandal and come up with an excuse to fire them. Relationships can be triggered by specific sub-stories, or by giving a specific idol preferential treatment. In addition to the relationship that each idol has with the player character, idols can also develop relationships with each other, which will be based on factors like how often they do activities together and how fundamentally compatible they are. Idols can enjoy benefits or suffer penalties to stamina recovery depending on the strength of their relationships. The status of their relationships can also affect the quality of things like productions that they're involved in, such as singles and concerts. Relationships can also trigger sub-stories that involve romance and dating. The extensiveness of the romance and dating events will largely depend on the scope of our project and how much money we're able to raise. A larger project budget will let us devote more resources to creating content for this, including more events and more images to accompany those events.